Alright, so how did I do that? I did it in Max, where all fun things happen. So I'm using a HI object. Oh, might have some lag on this video because I am screen recording and my computer is almost 10 years old. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Yeah. So an HI object to bring in the Guitar Hero guitar, and then I'm routing all the information, and I just have kind of a helpful comment to tell me which buttons are coming out which channels. Some color coding to just remember things as I was experimenting. Up at the top here also, all of the sound is done with the Carplus-Strong algorithm, and so you have to have the, what's it called now? Signal vector size? Yeah, signal vector size has to be set specifically so that you can have the right range of pitches. So if it was, say, set for 64, some of the highest pitches that I have playing wouldn't work. I won't get into why. And then basically what I'm playing here is the first phrase from the Bach Bourrée for guitar in E minor. This piece here, I guess it's famous for especially kind of intermediate classical guitarists. And so I'm repeatedly playing this this A section, the first phrase, or a couple of phrases, and then I also use the A section, and I'll get into that. But so I also use the B section. So for this A section here, I've routed the strumming buttons do the top line from the Bourrée, the red and green buttons do the bottom line, and then the blue and yellow buttons do just that final chord. that section, the bottom notes of that G major chord. But what I have is some random processes based on the angle of the guitar. Oh, we've got some notes. So the angle of the guitar when it's down, pitches are randomized. I add and subtract. You can see, it's choosing from a random 16, so it can be random 8 semitones above and below. It's just using MIDI input. And then by the time I'm up in the sort of appropriate classical guitar position, then the random decisions are 0. So it's playing these MIDI notes directly, which are from the score. Every time I repeat, I press the orange button, which makes sure that I go back to the beginning, because if I can play any rhythm that I want, but if I miss a note, then I'll be off by one note, if that makes sense. So for example, if I in this passage skip when I should be hitting the button for this note, well then everything's going to be shifted over by 1. So this would be an F sharp, this would be an E, and so on down the line. Then all of the sound, as I said before, is Karplus strong. So I have a sub patch in here with creating the envelope, the random values for the noise generation as well as the sustain value come from also for the A section it's fixed. The random values, I chose this 1000 just for the timbre. You can change that, and it's gonna just change the sound, as well as changing the ADSR values are gonna change the quality of the pluck of the guitar sound. You can get a lot of different sounds. Karplus strong is really fun, and this is kind of just basic in this sub patch here. Some of the more complicated stuff comes down in this B section area of the patch. So like I showed in the score here, the B section begins from this forward repeat sign. And I have all of those pitches also in this ZL lookup object, which I'm kind of new to, but it is very powerful and useful. And so what happens is all those pitches I wanted them to sound as well. So I am playing the A section, and those B section notes sound on a delay, and they're panned out. So if you wore headphones, you'd hear that. They're panned hard left and right, whereas the A section notes that I'm controlling are in the middle. And these pitches are never randomized. They are just playing straight out of the score in order. But the rhythm is obviously different, and so it in some ways sounds more random at times than what I'm playing. And so I have some poly situations going on here. It's probably not as efficient or clean as it could be. But basically I have this little timer sub patch to take a running average of the pitches that I'm inputting, and then make a delay so that sort of creates a counterpoint. And there are sort of 4 different delays running through a poly, so that it just gets kind of this random but not so random counterpoint going. And I think I use pipe with a drunk, so that it's kind of just a slightly subtly shifting random delay using pipe, and then those go into this poly, which is doing all of that A section hard panned stuff. And here, I'll make sure we can see the patch chords. A little bit spaghetti-y, but in this poly, it's quite similar in terms of the basic Karplus strong setup, but just kind of your usual. Also, poly is a bit new to me. I know MC is the thing to do, but all I was trying to do was make sure that 2 notes didn't sound too close together the car plus strung so that I wouldn't get like a zero crossing problem. And I don't know if I said that term correctly, but I think you know what I mean. Not if you know, you know. I'm just trying to get it to not peak. And so here the ADSR is a little bit different. I've got a long tack time. I like the quality of that sound. And then the sustain value and the random value frequency, those do here come from these other accelerometers. So I set a range of approximately what ends up as I move through here, but that's why in the performance I'm trying to kind of wiggle it as well. And then I added in a feature where those sustains don't come in until the second repeat. Just if I stay very still at the beginning of it, then no values will be input from those accelerometers. And then once I press the blue button, when I get to the first cadence, then it will start a line to just allow those sustained values to come in as I'm moving around. And yeah, for the most part, that's kind of that's the gist of it anyway. I guess one other thing I didn't say is in the randomization up here, it's actually the tuning is also randomized. So this is the MIDI pitch coming in, and then this part here is the tuning. So cents divided by 100, adding that on before I go to the MIDI to frequency number. So if I just put a note in here, I guess I'm focusing on this one here. You're seeing these decimal numbers, these float values, whereas when I'm up here and it's all in tune, then it'll be an integer. So a little bit hard to hear because there are a lot of notes going on, but that was part of the original idea, is that I wanted tuning to be a significant part of how this works. This is definitely still work in progress. I would love to be able to play it live at some point, and that was the purpose of the design of the patch. I've done a few other things with Guitar Hero Guitar before, but nothing as focused as this. It's a very fun controller. You can see there's a lot of data that comes from this angle. I guess I actually never played guitar. I never had the game. I never played Guitar Hero, but the like power up or whatever it was. I played it a few times at friends' houses, but I never was good. Yeah, there's probably a bit of confusion, especially if you're new to Max, if you're watching this. But let me know if you have questions. I'm happy to clarify, and then alongside comments, letting myself know where I was and what exactly I'm doing, so when I come back, I can figure it out. And yeah, no presentation view on this. This is just kind of as I was working. And I think I'll call the piece Bourrée for GUI tar, graphical user interface tar. It's cute, and I like things that are kind of silly. So that's the patch. And yeah, if you have questions, please reach out. Thank you.